I acknowledge Mount Donna Buang as Wurundjeri country and recognise the special role Mount Donna Buang plays in Wurundjeri dreaming. Mount Donna Buang is part of the Yarra Ranges National Park, proclaimed in 1995. Key directions for the management of the park include preservation of significant conservation areas, including old-growth forests, protection of the park from potentially damaging processes, including wildfire, soil erosion, and pest plants and animals. Mount Donna Buang mostly attracts young families seeking snow play, tobogganing, and first-time experiences of snow. Yarra Ranges National Park is assigned the IUCN Category 2 National Parks and Protected Areas, managed primarily for ecosystem conservation and appropriate recreation. Mount Donna Buang is part of a proposal to build an extensive mountain bike track called Warburton Bike Destination. Approximately 50 kilometres of tracks are proposed on the south side of Mount Donna Buang alone. With a 2-metre vertical and horizontal envelope, this equates to 100,000 square metres or 10 hectares of vegetation impacted. This does not include the extensive additional vegetation that would be impacted during construction, nor the long-term impacts on various threatened species of flora and fauna. Threatened species including critically endangered and FFG-listed Mount Donna Buang wingless stonefly and EPBC-listed leadbeater's possum, as well as threatened vegetation communities, are present within and around the proposed routes on the south side of the Mount Donna Buang summit. The tracks proposed for the south side of Mount Donna Buang form a component of the much bigger project. The main track from the summit is called Dropper K. Videos of the Dropper K at nearby Lake Mountain demonstrate the speed and dexterity required for riders to navigate the very open vegetation at Lake Mountain. Mount Donna Buang, however, supports dense vegetation with a full canopy, meaning emergency air evacuation of injured riders will be difficult. Certainly, the soils on the south side of the summit are like a sponge, releasing water slowly throughout the year, making conditions for cyclists muddy and boggy. Evacuating injured riders and regularly clearing the track of fallen trees, let alone constructing the track, will be a challenging, destructive and resource-heavy management commitment. Furthermore, the area is extremely fire-prone. Trying to evacuate riders from such steep, wet and remote areas will be impossible. Construction, maintenance and use of the proposed tracks on the south side of the summit will result in significant ecological impacts, including on plants and animals already threatened. Over time, additional infrastructure, such as a year-round medical centre or an extended car park at the summit, will likely be required, further impacting this largely intact mountain and its associated ecosystems. Most affected will be the FFG-listed cool temperate rainforest, the extent of which is not accurately mapped. Already a significant amount of cool temperate rainforest was impacted on by the 2009 bushfires, and much of the rest is impacted by over-tourism. The Mount Donna Buang wingless stonefly is known to occur on the summit of Mount Donna Buang. Very little is known about population numbers of the species. The stonefly has been found in and along the edges of temporary streams with cool, clear water. The species is tied closely to riparian habitats. As well as impacts from existing facilities including car parks and septic toilets, the trampling of vegetation close to streams and the pollution of the streams through runoff from car parks and other activities are examples that may lead to a decline in numbers. Other threats include myrtle wilt, which will affect Nothofagus understory favoured by stonefly, that is, the vegetation through which the proposed tracks run, and increased sedimentation and turbidity of the streams, altered drainage patterns and soil compaction, all of which will result from the proposed bike track. When the Mount Donna Buang wingless stonefly was nominated for EPBC listing, the report to the Federal Minister stated, "There do not appear to be any direct threats to the species' survival, and there is active management addressing development and recreational pressures in the area." This situation seems to have changed with the proposal of mountain bike tracks that will be extremely damaging to the wingless stonefly habitat. Under the FFG listing for the wingless stonefly, Action Statement 125 states, "The Mount Donna Buang wingless stonefly is significantly prone to future threats which are likely to result in extinction. A major conservation objective is to protect and maintain environmental values, particularly water quality, in areas of known and potential stonefly habitat. Human activity which leads to artificially elevated or epidemic levels of myrtle wilt within Nothofagus-dominated cool temperate rainforest is considered a potentially threatening process. Such activity may include earthworks and road or track making if these result in stem or branch wounds to myrtle beech trees. It is likely to be sensitive to reductions in water quality, such as from siltation, turbidity, and chemical pollution, possibly even if very minor or short-term in effect. Such impacts might result from a number of activities including construction or maintenance of roads and tracks, degraded walking tracks, In response to the concerns raised in the action statement relating to the wingless stonefly, Parks Victoria took action to decommission walking tracks and decommission and rehabilitate a car park that was known to be releasing sediment into critical wingless stonefly habitat. The proposed tracks on the south side of Mount Donna Buang contravene the National Parks Act 1975 and are not consistent with the need to protect and maintain significant ecological values of the site. The tracks will result in removal of significant vegetation, home to significant fauna such as leadbeater's possum, powerful owls, sooty owls, wingless stoneflies, and many others. The tracks will also result in soil erosion, soil compaction, sediment runoff, water pollution, and impact on waterways and water catchments, including that of the Yarra River. A key objective of the Warburton Bike Destination is to provide an economic boost to the nearby town of Warburton and the surrounding Yarra Valley. The environmental impacts of the proposed bike tracks on the south side of Mount Donna Buang, however, are significant and will have long-term consequences. The impact of this proposal will affect the reputation of the mountain bike industry and future generations who will be responsible for tidying up the threatened species that we've created through this project. There is already a drop-a-K track at nearby Lake Mountain, meaning the environmental impacts proposed to create yet more tracks, including a drop-a-K track on the south side of Mount Donna Buang, are too great to be supported. Removing the proposed tracks from the current plans will mean a world-class mountain bike track can be constructed close to Warburton through already degraded regrowth vegetation, leaving alone the precious old-growth forests, rare ecosystems, and fragile soils and pristine waterways of Mount Donna Buang. Bikes off Buang.